Most people, if you don't know what to expect with the Museum of Death, first of all, it's not scary. It's not a haunted house. It's not obviously dark or nothing jumps out at you. But some of the material within the collection is graphic in nature. And by graphic, it can run anything from a crime scene photo to an autopsy video, antique mortician tools. But one thing the museum prides itself on is that everything is authentic. Everything is real. So it's not like a believe it or not kind of situation. This is reality. By a harsh reality, but reality nonetheless. We cover many different topics and subjects. We have a very large collection of funerary items, so antiques from funeral homes, mortuaries, mortician tools. We have quite an amazing skull collection, animal and human skulls. We have a room dedicated pretty much specifically to Hollywood-centric crimes. So we have Charles Manson, O.J. Simpson, the Black Dahlia, which is considered LA's greatest unsolved homicide. So a lot of people are finding the topic of serial killers and murderers very fascinating as of late, to the point where it's almost become a sensation within pop culture. So John Wayne Gacy is still to this day considered one of America's most notorious and infamous serial killers. He was responsible for murdering roughly 33 young men. He was burying them underneath his house. He ran out of space eventually and began tossing their bodies into local rivers, which is pretty much how he was apprehended. His case was very sensational at the time and still to this day really resonates. A lot of people are interested in both his crimes and the fact that he was an amateur artist. John Wayne Gacy had a fascination with clowns. He would dress up himself as a clown. He called himself Pogo the Clown. And one of his most popular subjects that he did as an amateur painter was himself. So Pogo the Clown. The image itself has become very iconic as far as serial killers or murderabilia is concerned. It's appeared on record covers for bands, magazines. There's something very haunting about it, something that very captures people's fascination. Here you have a serial killer who would dress up as a clown in real life. He never murdered anyone dressed up as a clown, but the image is very striking and is considered one of the most iconic pieces of serial killer art that's out there in the world. All right, the largest mass suicide on American soil still to this day would be the Heaven's Gate suicide cult from San Diego. All of the members were found laid out the same way. They were all outfitted in what looked like tracksuits. They all had Nike sneakers, purple shrouds, and patches on their bodies. They had committed suicide because they wanted to evolve to the next higher level, they said, above human. They believed that they were aliens and that they were going to catch a ride home in a spaceship. Their souls would ascend, they'd get on board the spacecraft and head home. What we have here at the Museum of Death is a recreation of the crime scene with all authentic materials. It originated down in San Diego back in 1995, and it was not an overnight collection. I mean, when you walk through the museum, there are so many hundreds, if not thousands, of different artifacts and items and objects, and it was acquired in some instances piece by piece over the years. The idea behind the Museum of Death is any museum is a collection. It takes something, no matter what it may be, a theme or an object or an item, whatever it may be, it takes that and collects and preserves it and houses it, maintains it, keeps it somewhere where people, if they want to, can come and view or have an experience. You could have a chocolate bar museum. You could have a bunny museum. The owners of the Museum of Death back in 1995 chose to make a museum dealing with a very taboo subject, yet it's a subject that we all have in common, no matter who we are, how much money you have, the color of your skin. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because we all die, unfortunately. And sometimes when you realize that we're not going to be here forever, you can't take things with you to the grave. So life should be lived to the fullest, and you should enjoy it while you can. A lot of people don't realize that, or they take that for granted, I think. And that's what they wanted to explore, the subject matter of our own mortality.